Go ahead.
Great. All right, evening, everybody. This is the May 11th Newcastle Select Board meeting. Calling to order. Are there any amendments to the agenda?
It's now the time at some point, can we put on the agenda, discussing what on earth we're gonna do with the Harriet Bird Clubhouse?
I have a meeting with the committee at the end of this month, so yes. I
So
want to
maybe
meet with them first
after
and
that,
get some
then.
recommendations from them before coming back to me.
I mean, I just popped my head in there today.
Yep.
It's a sad place. It was very clean. I mean, as clean as you can get crappy old stuff, but. Okay, so maybe after you meet with them, then.
Yes, please.
I just think we need to figure out what we want to do with it.
Yeah, that'll be a good discussion. Okay, so we won't do that tonight.
Okay, so no amendment.
No amendments, hearing no other amendments. Okay, moving on to meeting minutes from last meeting, April 27th.
I'll move to approve the minutes as presented.
Second,
Great. Discussion, comments,
it looked good.
those in favor? Great. Okay, item 4, public comments on items not on the agenda. Anybody? Roger, would you mind coming up to the seat, please?
Just was speaking to you, Kevin, about the maintenance contract. I was just curious, what is typically included? What do we get for that maintenance contract? Is it like patching? Is it grading roads? Is that in there? And what else is in there? for
It's
the
the
maintenance?
annual, it's an annual maintenance contract with our current contractor proposing for start of July 1st. And we've budgeted for all the needs of the annual maintenance, which includes grading, gravel material, labor, hourly rates for equipment. All of that is budgeted for, so there's about almost $1 million worth of budget. Typically, the board has had an annual maintenance contract with Hager Enterprises to basically administer those resources to get things done in town. The contract is the agreement between the town and the contractor.
And one other question I had was, I've noticed lately at a lot of these meetings, a lot of things are going to executive session. So what kinds of things have to go into executive session and why is that?
So there are several categories that allow for executive session, such as a personnel matter can be an executive session.
Under main law.
Under main law, yes, thank you. Under main law, there's executive session for personnel matters, for labor or contract negotiations. And so something like this, the board, I can share with the board some thoughts before negotiating a contract, either with employees or with a contractor to do specific work for the town. But a decision has to be made publicly. So when you come out of executive session, there may be a report that says, you know, we're voting to approve a contract such as this, and that's public information. Some of the deliberation about what that goes into that contract or doesn't can be done in executive session. Discussion with an attorney about a potential lawsuit that can be done and should be done in an executive session. So those are examples. There's a few others that I can't remember off the top of my head. Another one's about tax foreclosure discussions. Well, sale of property. Those types of things can be used for executive session. Honestly, Newcastle rarely uses it, and I make sure that we stay strict to the rules about when and how for what we go into executive session for.
Yeah, it just seems like lately there's been like this 2 tonight, right? And so, I mean, past meetings, so, you know, our road was one of them, I guess, a week or 2 ago or whatever. And so I was just wondering what the criteria is for that to go to executive session. So
I mean, honestly, we do have a lot going on. I mean, so just in essence, I mean, the amount of work that's being, I guess, executed by the town manager you know, on this board, what our requirements are. There's, I think, inevitably gonna be contracts that have to be discussed, and, you know, that's the privilege.
Legal issues, a bunch of
Yeah.
those.
So, I think it's just maybe the time of year too, Roger, just because we're getting to the end of our year. The maintenance contract has to be renewed. We have to renew the town manager's contract. You know, and all those, you know, we're talking private negotiations on fees and salaries and things like that. We move those to executive session. Which is the right of the board, but it's also main law too, so. And if you look on our agenda, it will cite a title and a section number in main statute under those terms that we can discuss, and we have to be specific when we're in executive session to stick to those, to that criteria, so.
So what comes out of that can be public after the executive session.
If we have to vote, we come out of executive session and we make a public vote. There was a vote, a couple meetings ago for, what was that?
Attorney.
And my attorney, and actually Mike and Mal happened to be outside, so we called them back in just so there was some public knowledge of what was going on, and then we voted and they witnessed that vote, so. But yeah, I mean, unless, you know, unless somebody's gonna stick around outside, usually the votes happen when nobody else is in the room, but they get recorded.
And are reflected in the minutes, the
Yeah.
decision. And anything that gets voted on becomes public information. But the essence of the conversation that happens in executive session stays in executive session.
Okay. How many more public meetings is there gonna be on this village initiative project? Is there any more, or are those all done?
No, they're not done. We're not done.
Cause I've been reading that over and I made up a whole list of things that I'm really not in favor of that, and for a wide variety of reasons, and I mean, to me, it just seems like we're gonna change our whole village. I mean, that's not why people come here, is because we got wide sidewalks and we've got narrow roads and traffic backed up, and that's not why people come here. You know, and if we go through with these changes, I mean, it just seems to me like it's gonna, I mean, we have a beautiful village. It's pretty, it's scenic, it's serene, it's peaceful.
It's
And-
dangerous, it's deadly, it's
Fast
hazardous for anyone walking, it's,
Real,
yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think
It's
so.
100%.
When's the last time you walked down Mills Road on the sidewalks?
Summertime, I almost die or get in an accident at that intersection every single
Someone's car was
day.
totaled there recently.
day.
Mhm.
You could have an accident anywhere. And so to me, why is there an accident? And to me, there's a lot of bad drivers on the road today that shouldn't even be driving. So to me, instead of spending millions and millions of dollars on blaming the road and fixing the road, why don't we deal with the bad driving behavior that people are exhibiting? And we have laws already on the books to deal with that, you know? If people aren't stopping for pedestrians in a crosswalk, that's a Title 29 violation. Write them up. Okay.
Who's gonna write them up, though? That's the
The
problem.
enforcement, the sheriff's department.
We asked the
won't.
sheriff's department to
won't.
come down, they won't do it,
Hey.
they sit in front,
And they'll show up.
they'll sit there for a little while, everyone will behave for a couple of days, as soon as they're gone, everything goes back to normal.
Well,
And we cannot afford to have someone out there
you can
24/7, 365.
you can afford $1 million road makeover? You know how many
You
houses?
have a sheriff's department, sheriff deputy sit out there 24/7?
I don't say 24/7, but when there's a traffic issue, yeah, pay them.
Yeah.
It's a lot cheaper than $1 million road project.
Actually not. Damascotta's police department's like $1 million a year, isn't it?
They've told me point blank that they won't pull people over in that intersection, no matter how stupid they're behaving,
Well,
because it's too dangerous.
So
It's too
Roger,
dangerous.
the other thing too, and these are great comments. Right now is probably not the time to get into this, right? So we're gonna have a series of meetings this summer. And please come to these meetings, bring your questions, your comments, and let's talk it out. I just wanna, the one comment I'm gonna just leave us with is to remember, this is not just a roads project. This is an economic development project for Newcastle. Because we need commercial, we need retail, we need we need to build out our tax base. And the place to do it and get best return on tax dollar is not on Route 1 or on Sheepscot Road or in Sheepscot Village. It's gonna be downtown here where we can do infill development and build out the taxable base. Just as one example, the tax income from the standard is a $6 million valuation in one building. So if you can build 4 or 5 or 6 of those in downtown, you're looking at, making the change for tax base in the town.
What building was that again?
The one that was the old Weeks Waltz.
Oh, the garage there,
Yeah.
yeah, okay. But there's no room for any more, really.
Yeah, there is. There's plenty of room.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Well, how about the gas station, the Shuck Station?
there's a restaurant.
Well, we happen to know, Rob is interested in developing that at some point, making that a building. So there's people with will in the way, What you need though is place for people to park, to go to restaurants, right? I mean, there's no place to park downtown right now. So you need on-street parking, you need a way for pedestrians to cross the street. And you need to slow traffic down, that's the whole point.
I waited 20 minutes from Wright's Corner to the Damascotta Bridge. How much slower do you want it to be?
No, it's not the backup of the traffic, it's that people will fly through there when
How
it's
are you
not
gonna
backed up.
fly through when the traffic stopped?
It's not,
backed up the ramp all the way out onto Route 1.
not all the time, most of the time it's not,
Well,
and I do go through there a lot.
3 months of the year, okay, we have an abundance of people in our area.
Yep.
The other 9 months of the year, we got the place to ourselves,
Yep.
and we're gonna spend millions to redo our village. I don't think so. I'm totally against this project. But like you said, we'll have time to debate this at another time, but to me, it doesn't work for me.
Okay, thanks, Roger. Anybody else? Mike, you all set? Yeah, Wilson. Okay, moving on, no presentation, unfinished business, new business, item 7A, Arbor Day proclamation, so it's like. This is gonna be fun. So May 16th?
I think I'm glad to have the history of Arbor Day, I didn't know where it originated.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
And the website, the main.gov website goes into greater detail about Arbor Day and how Maine now has a whole week dedicated to it. So,
And Coastal Rivers is giving out trees, you have to reserve
yes,
them. Yeah.
so I'll say that they are looking for any volunteers from our select board who want to be in a photo and help plant some trees and be a part of that event on Saturday.
This coming.
This coming Saturday, the 16th. I intend to show up and show off our battery backup system or our battery lending program.
Not opposed to this, so don't take this question the wrong way, but why do we need to vote on this?
Just shows support for, it's a proclamation.
Okay.
Saying,
I can appreciate
recognizing
that.
Arbor Day. That's all. I think I've done one other proclamation with you guys once before, so it's not something that comes up often. Just showing support for it. Damascotta did it last year, and then I complained to them that they didn't invite us, so Coastal Rivers finally invited us to participate.
9:30 to noon. At Round Top Farm.
Yep.
On Saturday.
On Saturday. So that's what we're asking you guys to support that day being our recognizing as Arbor Day for this year.
Okay, great. Any questions on this?
Does anybody want to come?
Maybe. A good
Stop by,
investment, maybe.
stop by.
Want to.
Um. May 16th, is that
We have,
Saturday?
I know we have a museum thing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I move to approve proclamation as drafted and hereby proclaim May 16th, 2026 as Arbor Day in the town of Newcastle and urge all citizens to celebrate Arbor Day?
I'll second that.
Thanks, Rufus. Thanks, Karen. 9:30 to 12. Oh, I might be able to make it. Be in Augusta recording. I mean,
Let me know.
or I'll see you there.
Or you see Nick.
I'll see you. Okay, great.
I don't want to be the one in the photo op, so.
All right, any other discussion on this? All right, hearing none, let's take a vote. All those in favor? Motion passes. Excuse me, item 7B. Road closure. Unity Walk, and this is on June 27th. And it sounds like this is a brief closure.
It is, primarily it's the closure part is mostly Damascotta,
Yeah, okay.
because they walk to Rising Tide.
Yep, okay.
But they've had their event in Veterans Park for the last few years without us knowing about it, so I've said to the sheriff, you know, when you get these requests, I want the select board to authorize the closure of the street when it's an event. Obviously, emergencies are another situation, but trying to follow our ordinance.
Okay.
This has gone on for a number of years.
This will be the 5th year that they've done this event. I met with the organizer, pleasant woman, Done, and she lives in Damascotta.
All right, so then we have to, I guess, make a motion to authorize the sheriff's office to close Main Street for the Unity Walk and authorize the town manager to develop an inventive agreement for use of Veterans Park with the Lincoln County Unity Pride. I guess we don't have one of those, do we?
Second cut.
I've done it now, this will be the second one.
Okay,
I'm just trying to make a record.
Yep.
Of the use of the park
Yep.
for public events. I mean, obviously, anybody can go use the park anytime, but
right.
when we're doing these larger events, I wanna know about it. And ideally, I'm getting certificates of insurance,
Mhm.
you know, just trying to bring us to the
Be
21st
legit,
century.
yeah.
All right, any other discussion points on that? Okay, here now, let's take a vote. All those in favor? Motion passes 5 members. Item 7C. Automatic tax foreclosure, 515 North Newcastle Road. And I saw. I was with Kevin, saw an aerial view of this little piece of property. It's a funny little piece. But maybe. It is. You want to explain this a little?
Sure, it's a parcel along North Newcastle Road. It has a trailer on it. But it is too small a lot to actually even incorporate a septic system. So it has a holding tank on it. It's owned by a person who lives in Texas. And they've been, you know, we've struggled to get this person to keep up with their taxes for several years. And finally this year they didn't pay in time. So the town acquired an automatic tax foreclosure in January. And I'm finally getting around to, Michelle and I are finally getting around to saying, hey, what do you want us to do with this? So I don't believe there's any value in this property for the town. What I'd like to do is try to sell it back to the former owner. I don't even know if I'll get a hold of them. If not, I'll bring it back to you and we'll go through the formal process of the sale. Which is working with up to 3 realtors before then coming back to the board to say, put it up for bid. Another option might be at that point asking the neighbor if they want to buy it. So there's all those steps we have to go through
Right, a
now.
lot that size seems like somebody that owns
One of the lots next
one of the
door.
lots next door.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think what happened is the larger lot next to and behind it owned it originally and then sold it off or chunk, did
Huh.
a division and broke that piece off to sell it, so.
I can't see on the card, but sideways for one. How many, what's
Oh,
the
yeah.
acreage?
0.25,
It's tiny.
That's, yeah, that's.
a very small lot in the, what I would consider the rural part of our community.
Yeah,
Yeah.
0.25 acres in
It's like
downtown.
on a
is the next
hillside.
thing.
right.
Tiny house on a hill.
It's like the road and the hill.
Yeah, it's like it's on a hill, like even if you.
Yeah.
It's less than that even as far as
Buildable space.
there's no buildable space there. It's a driveway to a trailer and there's nothing else you can do in there.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking if we run through the process of. Foreclosure and sale of property, see what transpires. Then maybe make an offer to the abutting owner.
I mean, the says are nothing.
Yeah.
And they haven't paid them, so they might not be interested.
It's still like the language of the law said that the former owner still has a right to come back for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have to at least offer that first before going to this letter. So it's a letter that goes out to the person that says, if you don't respond within 90 days, this house is gonna be put up for sale. Essentially is what it says.
$223.10.
Yeah, they're $800 behind. But probably the cleanup would be $10,000.
According to the letter of the law, if the previous owner is not interested in the repurchase of the property. Are you allowed to go, does it have to be a fully competitive process or can you approach abutters first?
Nope, I have to do the real estate process first. Only after that is exhausted, can the board make a decision about how to get rid of it? Usually it's a bid process or
Yeah.
it is doing a bid process and making the neighbors aware of it.
I just don't think there's gonna be much interest.
No,
I don't think so either.
No, not at all.
And unfortunately, we gotta sit on it until it gets done, and
Yes.
that's just, something Michelle and I have worked through.
Yes.
are there two abutters or it's just one surrounding?
There's two abutters, there's two parcels, one next to it, one the other side of it, and behind it. A large parcel.
There's a small house next to it, is that right?
Yeah,
And as I recall, when that was on the market, that house doesn't have a lot of property with it, so it might be the sort of thing where if they could get it.
Yeah.
Inexpensively, it would add to that property, give them a loan.
Parking, I know that.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
there's next to nothing as far as being able to get into that lot.
Yeah.
So it might be some interest from one of the others.
so if I can't sell it to the former owner, do you want me to bring it back to you, or do you want me to just go through the process?
I mean,
You have to go
that's
through
that's the only option,
Should I have
right?
to go through?
Well, and then
Or just
move
letting
forward
it-
with it, because your other
Yeah.
option is keep it, because I don't,
No.
I wrote it as if. I'm gonna try for the former owner and then say, well, the former owner doesn't want it, now what do you want me to do with it?
Yeah,
Just take two
So
steps
do
down.
I'll tell you what
I
to
would-
do with it right now.
I mean, we're authorizing you to sorry, negotiate sale with the previous owner, or the previous owner, but.
And if that fails, just move forward through the process.
Yeah, and I think. If there's any snags, I think then come back to the select board.
Okay.
If you need ideas, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I get through the real estate process and there's no bites, I'll come back to you for
Yeah.
the bid process or.
Yeah.
The future sale process. Okay. So somehow turn that into a motion.
So an motion to authorize the town manager to negotiate a sale of tax required property at 550 North Newcastle Road with the former owner. Should a solution not be reached with the former owner, we authorize the town manager to start the sale process through realtors.
I think that's a great motion.
Okay,
Perfect.
I'll second that.
Nice, thanks for Karen. Any other discussion? No. Okay, hearing none, all those in favor?
Yep.
Great. Motion passes 5 members. And moving along, AP warrant. 2026 20th AP warrant for $613,960.34. Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second,
Sure.
okay, discussion.
So I already.
I already heard.
I already stopped in the town office and said, why are we paying it for any mowing out at the Francis Perkins farm? So for anybody else who wants to
I
know,
was curious why this is happening,
Yes.
because now that. Federal government is responsible for that site, there is a process where they will only pay the local municipality through a contract, they can't just hire a contractor. So we are a pass-through, at least for this year.
okay,
This is our first year doing it, so I worked out a deal with our contractor, Property Care Plus. So we will be paying Property Care Plus and I'll be billing Acadia National Park because they're overseeing the Francis Park.
jeez.
So I'll be billing Acadia National Park to reimburse us for the mowing, so.
Hopefully they're faster paying than
Oh.
the federal government.
The federal government is paying, they are, but they're doing it by credit card. So the contract is a total of 2,400. And it's just under the threshold, and then obviously credit card fees. So which is still under the $2,500 threshold that the Acadia National Park doesn't have to go through their bureaucratic red tape. So we can just, I can send them an invoice, so they can swipe the credit card and take care of paying us back for us paying Property Care Plus. So it's just a pass through.
So they're paying the fee plus the credit card charges.
Yeah.
They can hire Property Care Plus. It
They
seems
can't.
I know, but it seems ridiculous.
They can, if they go through the more lengthy process, which they'll look to do when they decide how they're gonna operate in another year. Right, they wanna figure out, are they gonna try to rely on volunteers, are they gonna have the staff on hand to do it? Or are they gonna continue to need to contract that stuff, and if it's a contractor, that contractor has to go through some specific vetting. So it was just easier for this year for us to.
Make sure the lawn gets mowed.
That's right,
Where is this property? I guess I.
Francis Perkins Homestead is down River Road. It's before you get to Dutch Point. It's beautiful. Oh, you should go take a
You
walk
gotta go
there.
there. It's a national monument.
Yeah, it's really
That's
nice.
why Arcadia is.
Yep.
correct.
Yeah,
I never even knew that.
take a ride down and
They
go
just
for a
got
walk.
there.
It's just like a nice mile loop. It
Is there
goes
a
down to
sign?
the river. Yeah, there's a sign, there's a parking area and everything.
It's a museum as well. I think they're open,
I always miss it when.
wait, it's not, they're closed Mondays and Tuesdays. They're open the other days of the week.
Yeah.
And they have a display in there about Francis Perkins. The house isn't open yet, but it hopefully will be at some point. But then the grounds
That's
has a
beautiful.
beautiful,
Yeah.
I think it's a 0.6 or 0.7 miles down to the river. And back up again. It's really a nice walk.
Big field and a really neat sort of little peninsula that goes out in the river. Take a walk down there.
It's an old
You'll enjoy it.
Old foundations, there's the remains of a brickyard on
Yeah.
the water.
Thanks, I'm glad I asked. I never even knew that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, that caught my attention, as you might
Of course it
imagine.
did.
I know when I went in the office, Shelley said, I knew you would be in here.
And I didn't bring like.
That's just your way of getting us to come visit you.
It is, yeah, I get to say hi to you again, some,
Cause you don't have anything else to do.
but to say hi to you, that is my job,
No,
part of
you
it.
have too much to do.
Alright,
Okay,
I think Ben made the motion. Karen, did you second that?
no, Rufus did.
Rufus seconded that, are you good, Karen?
Yep.
Any other discussion, questions on that warrant?
Mhm.
No, great, let's take a vote, all those in favor? Motion passes by members and town managers report.
Yeah, so first, Build Maine is coming up, June 3rd is the full day. If anybody is interested as sponsors of it, we get access for select board members, planning board members. Appeals board, any of our appointed boards can attend, as well as staff, so if you're interested in going, let me know and we'll coordinate a drive up. Eric Kronberg is one of the presenters and I've known him for years and he is doing some really cool stuff in Georgia. It'd be really great to see some of concepts and ideas. They're similar to. Similar to the, you know, we come up with a bunch of designs and let's get them built. Based on the designs that are there, similar to what Dooryard, Kara Wilbur's done with Rob's project on Ellsworth, so. And he's trying to figure out how to break down the. IBC International Business or Building Code versus International Residential Code. And some of the nuances about if you build housing that's got 3 units or more than 3 units, the fire suppression systems are. A heightened need and requirement and costs associated with. Building code versus residential code and trying to figure out those nuances and how can we. Hack the system, I guess, so he's very clever when thinking through those things. Great Salt Bay is doing spatial need for the school. And that's happening on this Wednesday at 3 o'clock. They did reach out and say, is there any elected officials who'd be interested in attending? Because they'd like to have input about where the future growth or needs are for the school. I can attend that if that's the desire of the board, or if there's board members.
I wanna do that,
Okay, okay,
to the spatial listing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm totally interested.
okay, great.
Yeah.
So that is
Great.
Wednesday at 3 o'clock.
I'd be interested too, but we can't all.
Oddly enough, I'm there. Between 4 and 4:30 for teacher conference, for parent conferences.
And then we have the
And then
6:30.
we have the vote at 6:30, so I'm just gonna be.
You're there all day.
School.
Just be all afternoon.
I think you can still go, just don't sit with them.
Yes, you can go.
Yeah, I'd probably go.
All right, then. I'll send a reminder. Thomas. All right, what else is coming up? This is really the memo with meetings. So then the budget and follow up with the RSU 48 budget meeting. So that's a special town meeting with the 3 different communities, Bremen, Newcastle and Damascata, or the community school. That'll be at the gym on Wednesday, the 13th at 6:30 p.m. There's links in my document for the budget documents as well as GSB website. Another meeting is the Central Lincoln County Ambulance Service Board meeting is happening Monday, May 18th at 6 p.m. That includes a discussion on the cost share formula for future annual budgets. So it's imperative that there's representation from Newcastle, beyond just the representative who serves on the board. I know Karen's been attending most of those CLC meetings. Will you be available to attend that one?
I will be at that one.
Okay, gonna try to attend that one as well. Is there anybody else who'd like to do that, or?
I'll probably stop in if I can find childcare.
Right, because your wife's already there.
Yeah, we just need to see if we can keep it from getting off the rails.
Yep.
With crazy formulas for how to cost share, and people have proposed some weird things in the past.
The way it's done now, from what I understand, it's a pretty simple,
It is.
Yep.
So
depending on who you are, what your opinion is, fair share, it's just based off of town evaluation.
Yeah.
You pay what you're worth.
In the past, it had call volumes incorporated into it, which really just skews who's paying it, and
It makes Damascata pay for someone from South Bristol who has a heart attack at Hannaford.
right,
know.
right,
So it's just not, that's not fair
Or
either.
transfers from miles when you could live anywhere in the area. And
Damascata's paying
because
for it.
you're at miles, it's a Damascata call, so.
Right.
And I don't know, it seems like it can get really complicated real quick.
Yep.
As far, and then it's the fight on what town's call that was, and
Mhm. And they can't track all that. stuff.
no, it's
And what do you do with,
what you have limited
People running the
resources, you have limited resources as far as administration goes. Your goal should be to run the ambulance, not to count beans.
Right, so I think the goal really is to try to sustain the system we have in place.
I would think so.
Okay. Other things coming up, Memorial Day is the 25th, so per our bylaws or per your bylaws. That'll have to happen on Tuesday, May 26th. So we will not be meeting on May 25th, we'll be meeting the next day.
Yep.
We are closing the office early on June 3rd, which is a Wednesday at 1 p.m. Our staff, now the new law is that we have a state mandate, essentially, we have to count early ballots early.
Okay.
And so I need my election clerks who also happen to be the town office clerks. So they won't be available to help residents, so we'll just close the office that afternoon. So those can be publicly or can be securely processed and locked up. And then I'm keeping the battery lending program on here because as of today, I have one resident who has filled out the waiver form and has taken the training and is now a member of the battery lending program for Newcastle. So this program is meant to assist our residents who may or may not have power outage challenges regularly and borrow batteries to charge their heater in the winter and maybe charge their fridge in the summer, help keep food from spoiling. I know outages don't occur as long as they used to, but even just a few days is a huge benefit. So they're available for residents. It's low barrier. You just sign a waiver saying you're not going to come after the town if something goes wrong. And you're going to learn from me on how to use the device. So that's it. And then you call and you come pick it up. And you bring it back when you're done. It's the program. Obviously, I just did a very short version of what that means, but you can read more about it in the manager report. And then, as always, well, at least for the last 6 months, the Lynch Road detour, there's a new one in there from the 5th of May. So progress is being made on this Lynch Road. So no longer minor span, it is a bridge. The steel is in place, so
I saw the pictures, yeah,
cool. That's what I got.
awesome.
Oh, sorry, I wanted to touch on the financials. I ran the financials again for this month. We are over budget on our public works. The big hit is our salt budget was significantly over. We budgeted 80,000. We budgeted 80,000, we spent 137,000. So we're about $57,000 over budget on salt this year. So I will be coming to you next meeting with some potential budget amendments to get us through the rest of the fiscal year. I will say I started looking at the revenue side too. I don't have a report that gives you the revenue side. We are well ahead of what we budgeted for. So even if we can't make up for it by moving money around on the expenditure side, we will make up for it with some of the revenues. Okay. I'll have a proposal for you on the 26th.
Great.
Now I'm done. Sorry, Tor.
No apologies. Let me get back to the agenda. I think that's it, guys. Excuse me. Yeah, shoot. Yep, okay, all right, skipping over future agenda items. Although Harriet Bird is mentioned. Moving to 11A, which is executive session, contract negotiations under Title I, Section 405.6.d, annual maintenance contracts. All those in favor of going into executive, oh no, we need a motion.
I'll move that we go into executive session.
A second.
Seconded.
All those in favor? Great. Give us.